pastor is surrounded by children, and he's telling them the story of Christmas. And then you're supposed to read it in his accent. So, you see, one time it was a little baby born named the poor little Jesus. But didn't nobody know that was his name yet. They knew he was a powerful, smart, powerful, pretty little baby, but they didn't know his name was the poor little Jesus. So, because he was smart and so pretty, everybody thought that he's going to grow up and be the king. So, quick as that news got spread around, everybody just about bust to get on the good side of the baby, because they figured if they start soon, he'd grow up and liking them and not chop their head off. So old Moses went over and gave him $100 in gold. And old Methuselah went over and gave him a diamond ring. And old Peter gave him fine white silk robe. And everybody was running in with the fine presents so the poor little baby Jesus wouldn't grow up and chop their heads off. Everybody but old Santa Claus. Old Santa Claus was kind of old and didn't get around much. And he heard the news about the poor little Jesus was going to grow up and be the king. So him and the old lady was sitting back by the fire one night, toasting their shins and talking about this and that. And old Miss Santa Claus up and remarked, she said, Sandy, here's Miss Mary got a brand new baby over at her house. Is that a fact? Said Santa Claus. Well, it's a mighty cold night to be doing something like that, ain't it? But on the other hand, he'll be a heap of pleasure and fun next summer, I reckon. So they talk went on, and finally old Santa Claus remarked that he was powerful lonesome around the house since all the children's grown up and married off. They all married well, said me Santa Claus, and so I say, good riddance. You ain't never had to get up and cure their colic and mend their clothes, so you getting lonesome. Me, I love him and all, yet I'm glad they're married and doing well. So the talk went on like that for a while, and then old Santa Claus got up and got his hat. I believe, he said, I'll drop over and see how the baby's getting along. I ain't seen no children in so long, I'm pure hungry to leave my eyes up on the baby. You ain't going out on a night like this, he said. Miss Santa Claus said, you can't do that. Sure, I'm going out on a night like this, said Santa Claus. I'm pure craving to see some chillins. But it's snowing and going on, said Miss Santa Claus. You know, your Pacific been deviling you. Anyhow, you get Charlie Mongooses slopping around in the weather like this. No mind to talk, said Santa Claus. Give me my umbrella and my overshoes. And you better get me something little to take along for a gift, too, I reckon. Cradle gift. You know, it ain't nothing in the house for no cradle gift, said me Santa Claus. Get something, said Santa Claus. You gotta give a new baby something else he'll get bad luck. Oh, give me one of them big red apples out the kitchen. What kind of cradle gift is an apple, said Miss Santa Claus. Don't you reckon that baby get all the apples he want? Give me the apple, said Santa Claus. It ain't much one way you look at it, but if in the way that baby gonna look at the apple, he'll be a heap of fun. So Santa Claus got the apple and he lit out. Well, when he got to Miss Mary's house, everybody was standing around giving the poor little Jesus presents. Fine presents made out of gold and silver and diamonds and silk and all that. They had the presents stacked around the baby so high you could hardly see over them. So when everybody see old Santa Claus come in, they looked to see what he bring. And when they see he didn't bring nothing but a red apple, they all laughed. Quick as that baby grows up, he's gonna be the king, they told him. He's gonna chop your head off. No mind that, says Santa Claus. Y'all just stand back. And so he went up to the crib and he pushed away a handful of the gold and the silver and the diamonds and stuff, and he handed the poor little Jesus that red apple. Here, son, he said, take this old apple. see how she shines. And the poor little Jesus reached up and he grabbed that apple with both his hands and he laughed just as brash as you please. Then Santa Claus took it and tickled him under the chin with his little finger and said, "Goodly, goodly, goodly." And the poor little Jesus laughed some more and they reached up and grabbed a fistful of old Santa Claus whiskers and him and old Santa Claus went round and round. So about that time, up stepped the Lord. "I swear, old Santa Claus," said the Lord, "betwixt that apple and them whiskers, the poor little Jesus ain't had so much fun since he been born." So Santa Claus stepped back and bowed low and give the Lord a hidey-hi and say, "I didn't know everybody was chivalrying, or else I'd have stayed home. I didn't have nothing to bring him this time, because you see how it's been this year, the dry weather and the boll weevils, and got mighty nigh all the cotton. And the old lady been kind of puny." That's all right, Sadie," said the Lord. "Gold and silver have I a heap of, but verily you sure do know how to handle yourself around the childrens." "Well, Lord," said Santa Claus, "I don't know much about childrens. Me and the old lady raised up 14. But she done most of the work. Me, I just likes them. I managed to get along with them." "You sure do get along with them good," said the Lord. It's easy to do what you likes to do," said Santa Claus. "Well," said the Lord, it might be something in that too. But the trouble with my world is it ain't enough people which likes to do the right thing. But you likes to do the right thing with children. And that's what I need. So stand still and shut your eyes whilst I pass a miracle on you." So Santa Claus stood still, shut his eyes, and the Lord reared back and passed a miracle on him. "Old Santa Claus, live forever and make my children happy." So Santa Claus opened his eyes and said, "Thank you kindly, Lord. But do I got to keep them happy all the time? That's a pretty big job. It'd be a heap of fun, but still, at the same time, all the time?" "Yeah, I know, children too," said the Lord. "Children got to fret and get the devilment every now and then and get a whooping from the ma, or else their skin don't get loose and they can't grow. But you just keep your eyes on them and make them happy about, say, once a year. How that?" "Oh, that's fine," said Santa Claus. "He'll be a heap of fun too. What time of the year expect I better make them happy, Lord?" "Christmas time suits me," said the Lord, "if that's okay with you." It's about right for me," said Santa Claus. So ever since that day and time, old Santa Claus been clawing the children on Christmas. And that's the same day that the poor little Jesus got bombed. Because that's the way the Lord runs things. Oh, because of the Lord knowed it wasn't going to be long before the poor little Jesus growed up and he got to be a man. And when he done that, all the grown folks had him so they could moan their sins away and lay their burdens down on him and get happy in their hearts. The Lord made Jesus for the grown folks, but the Lord know the children's got to have some fun too, so that's how come there's Santa Claus and Christmas and all.